Visa's changed quite a lot over the years that I've been involved, actually, because we created a European-owned and controlled business here, based out of London, and therefore we had to build all the capability, the European capability. So actually, it's been a massive kind of business to really grow this European operation, and it's been fantastic to be involved with that. Without a doubt, I've made this bold statement that by 2020, I think 50% of our transactions will be on a mobile payment device. I think the smartphones are just the way that we'll all want to pay going forward. So once you can embed the contactless technology across the UK, which we're doing pretty well now, then once that contactless technology is in, it means the smartphone can be read by the device. So having all your payments on a smartphone, I've been fortunate enough to have it and trial it. The technology works absolutely brilliantly, and once you've got your payment device on a mobile phone, I tell you, you do not want to go back to using cards or cash or checks or whatever. So the radical changes taking place in the business, but I think for the real benefit of consumers. Increasingly, you realise the communication of what you're trying to achieve as a business is one of the key roles that the CEO has got to do. Of course, there's always the day-to-day stuff you've got to get done, but quite frankly, that's not really what makes the difference. That's why I've got a good, strong team around me to make sure that the day-to-day operation works well. And you've got to be the front. You've got to get out there. You've got to talk about the business, and you've got to sell the passion and dream you've got for the business. I don't have all the answers, so my leadership style is very much to get the right people around me who hopefully do know all the answers, and therefore my job is to gel that team together to excel. I'm a great believer in setting some pretty hairy, audacious goals for us as a kind of business, because I always think if you don't set challenging objectives for yourself, you almost feel very pleased that you've achieved this year's kind of performance, not recognising that actually we should have done a bit more if we really want to achieve those long-term goals that we want to go for. I hope the one thing is I'm still open, and people can come and talk to me, because I don't think that's kind of really changed, because I think it's so important that you kind of listen to everybody in the organisation. We've started an apprenticeship scheme recently in Visa, and it's just fantastic, because they really they don't care about the hierarchy and everything else, so I meet them in the lift and they're coming up to me going, by the way, I've been here now 6 weeks and I just thought you should know that, you're missing out on this huge opportunity here. I love that, because, you hear fresh ideas from people. Well, we've been involved with the Olympics since 1986, and actually we were the first of the global top sponsors to actually extend that sponsorship into the Paralympics as well, which we've been doing for the last 10 years. And we don't look on it as a particular event or a kind of marketing initiative or a sponsorship, really. We see it as a platform, and a platform for probably three main things, really. First of all, showcasing our innovation. I mean, what better place than to showcase innovation than the greatest show on earth, with 4 to 6 billion, depending on who you believe, people watching you. Secondly, we see it as great for engagement of our members, of our partners, and importantly our staff as well, because they need to feel part of what we're doing across the Olympics. And thirdly, of course, it's about business driving. The growth that it drives in our business by being involved with the Olympics, which we've estimated, for example, just through the games here in London, there'll be at least 750 million uplift in terms of expenditure, about 18.5% stronger than we would normally see without the games here. But importantly, we've estimated from looking at what's happened in other games, we'll see an uplift of 5.1 billion benefit to the UK economy by 2015. I've always been passionate about sport. I love sport. I've always played sport. And actually it's quite interesting, because I was never one of the kind of top performers in sport. I just saw it as a kind of team game. So I guess it made me very humble, because I'm used to losing. But it also actually taught me about, the desire to want to win as well. The fact that maybe you're not the best individually doesn't mean to say that you don't want to be the best. Best piece of business advice. I'll probably never be complacent, because I think that is what constantly keeps you at the forefront of change. And I've been given that twice actually, and I must admit, I just think it absolutely resonates, particularly in our kind of business where there is so much change taking place. So, you know, the day you think you've cracked it and you've got the winning proposition out in the marketplace, the next day someone will come out with something different. So never ever be complacent. Constantly challenge what you need to do as a business.